Need to refresh the plant tracker first. And this will be probably my last game of the night here. And it's a 4-player game. This is me, Selasphorus, Amitss1, and teokop. Selasphorus has just been on an amazing run. I think he's won every single game I've recorded for YouTube so far. And this all 4-player games too. It's not even 2 players. So this is a pretty average price USA map. I guess, well, I don't know about average, maybe slightly above average, with green not in the game and aqua in the game, the death trap that is the Southwest. I'll start with a bid of 7 for the 4 plant. Someone's going to go 8, and I'll see if it goes for 9. The question is whether it goes for 8 or 9. There's one pass at 7. Can we break Selas's winning streak? That's the question here. And I'm not going to be the one to pay 9. In general, I don't like paying 9 for the 4 plant unless I'm on Germany. Now I'm thinking about where to build. Okay, there's a bit of... So the 4 goes for 8, but the 3 goes for 5. Interesting. Usually I expect the 3 to go for 4. As like an equivalent price to 8. Like 4 for the 3 and 8 for the 4 are like pretty equivalent prices, I find. Now the question is... with 18 lurking, that tells me I want to pick 5 over 8. I'm looking at the futures market. If there's okay, so 18 still could potentially be bought on the next turn. That tells me that I want to take the 5 over the 8 in this scenario because I can stay low. I can find a safe single build with the 5, try to get low in the turn order. And from there, you know, hopefully maybe get the 18. Maybe. 22 is actually going to go under the deck. So I need to mark that down now. 22 going under the deck. That's highly unusual for a 4-player game. And could make this early market worse. It'll make 18 quite a bit more valuable. Even more valuable than it already is. Yeah, Amitss takes the safe single build there. I agree with that call. And I will agree with Chicago. I'm going to take Chicago here, actually. What I think I want to do here is Chicago-Detroit in order to threaten Brown a little bit. I think that's my call. And Selas takes the obvious Oklahoma City-Dallas build in red. That's the most available space for him. Not the sexiest space, but there's like a couple cheap early cities, and then there's a fallback option of the Southwest if you get blocked elsewhere. So it's fine. It's a solid last build. So I guess I was wrong to take the 5 over the 8 here. I don't know. teokop bids 11 for the 10 plant. What I think is I might actually bid 12. Ooh, bid 13. Yes! 18 gets blocked. Okay, I will buy 13 with no regrets here. Yeah. 5 with 13 is a pretty solid combo. I mean, Amitss with the 16 like still won that auction, but 16 is not nearly the difference maker that 18 is going to be. So at least we should have a fair auction for 18 on the next turn. So 39 goes under the deck this turn. Now that's a more normal step 3 plant to go under there. Teokop's obviously going to build St. Louis as second city. I think that's the obvious one. Memphis would be the highly conservative play because you take a much more expensive connection to Memphis than you would get if you went through St. Louis first. And I think Selas doesn't have the most incentive to build into Memphis at this point, given that they have the cheap Houston below and then can go into Southwest from there if necessary. I have to attack oil here. I definitely have to attack oil with this, for sure. We need to drive up the price of oil to hit that 16, since that's the best plant in there right now. Amitss takes the defensive build. Okay, they're actually giving me Cincinnati. That's a little surprising. Although we'll see if I even want Cincinnati on the next turn. Selas does the no build, which is obviously correct because they're going to go bottom of the turn order next. I'll burn the oil on this. Definitely burning oil here. In comes the 20. Well, time to fight for 18 now. I think what happens is after the 18 auction is over, everyone's going to pass a Selasphorus, and Selas will buy the 9, assuming he doesn't win 18. 18's kind of not a great fit for Selas here. If I pay 29 for this, actually, I can get Cincinnati. If I pay 29 for this, yeah, I can get Cincinnati and power 3 cities for free. I think I'll still click this. If teokop bids 30, he gets it, though. 30 would be the most I can afford to get a third city this turn. There it is. I'm not under major pressure to get a plant this turn. My plant combination here is still okay for turn 3. So yeah, nothing appetizing here. Selas should buy the 9. Yep, obvious play. Have to move the market. You got to buy a plant, move the market there. 21 and 25 both came in. Ooh, that's going to be interesting. That tells me don't get excited for the 20, is what I'm getting from that. And I have to burn oil. I have to buy extra oil on this. Make Amitss pay for the oil to hurt that, reduce that early money advantage to the extent that we can. And Selas takes the safe build there. Surprised they went with that over Houston. I think my play here is not to build, because I'll get to the bottom of the turn order. I lose Cincinnati, but I don't care too much about that, because actually I'll just take Buffalo on the next turn. I'm fine with that. Gets me that much closer to all the cheap stuff in brown. Definitely not burning the coal with 20 and 25 looming here. Gotta burn the oil instead. $37 under, 44 in. Okay. I think 20 is not going to be a great fit for Selas. I'm not going to bid on this. Selas willing to bid, though. I'd let it go here. I think I would just let 20 go here. Yep. If I were Amitss, I would not have clicked one more there. This is going to be a good fight here. If 25 comes next after this, then it's going to be a fight for that plant too. Therefore, I'm going to put in some bids on 21. 21 is still worth, 30 plus here. Okay, I just absolutely bodied that auction, I think. Alright, so I just need to get to... I won't be able to reach... Ooh, I can actually buy 3 coal on this one. I can buy 3 coal, get to 4 cities. Won't use the green plant this turn, unfortunately. I do have to build Minneapolis, though, because that is vulnerable to a jump right now. I have to do Buffalo, Minneapolis. That has to be my builds in this situation. I can afford those 2 cities for 8, so I can get 1, 2, 3. I can get exactly 3 coal here. Now we don't need to put pressure on oil anymore. Now it's all about coal. So what was it came in? Oh, 14 was the one that came in. This is why you should still be willing to pay a fair price for 21, even with a 25 or 26 behind. Partially because of the chance of a bad drop. Partially because if that 25 or 26 comes on the market, there will be 2 people to bid on it, so it will be expensive as well. That you can kind of get a discount on the 21 with that other plant coming in. 30, 42, 44. Okay. I imagine Amitss should be able to afford a 5th city here. I actually do face a decision here, though. Question now is, New York or Minneapolis? And I think the answer is still Minneapolis. Because... Actually, though, I don't know. The question is... I'll get a little feisty here. I'll get feisty. See what happens. Since Amitss would be my main competitor at this point in the game. Teokop still has the south here to build as the obvious choices. Yes, that's correct. Selasphorus is now looking to be in really rough shape in this game. They only get Houston as one more cheap city before having to back into the Southwest. Alright, so Amitss... I definitely made the correct choice with New York then, because Amitss didn't jump... They couldn't afford... I figured after having to pay for the 20 plus coal, even if they didn't pay that much for the 20, technically, I figured they couldn't afford to jump into Minneapolis, so that's going to be my 5th city to complete my stall setup. So I'll be set up well in terms of turn order with 21 plus 13, efficiently powering 5 cities each turn. That's a very good stall setup. Plus I'll have the option to break the stall if I want to. Although I don't think I can afford it this turn. And I don't want to. I mean, Selas has to buy the 19. Yeah, that's the correct move in their spot now. Trash is at an okay price where you 19 is acceptable at this point because Selas needs to make money. And 19 makes much more money than the alternatives here. Yep. So obviously they're going to build Houston and just sit at 4, for sure. And, like, the question is this. Amitss didn't store extra coal, so I will gladly punish him here. I mean, I could build to 7 this turn, but I don't think that'll favor me. I'm going to have a really good connection to all the cheap East Coast cities in, either step 2 or at least step 3. Teokop doesn't have a reason to build. They have a pretty good stall setup for turn order wise, with 10 plus 18, 2 coal for 4 cities. Although coal is not getting so cheap anymore, that's why. Basically, I'm attacking both Teokop and Amitss. But I'm just going to keep attacking coal here because that hurts 2 other opponents. And Amitss is not storing extra coal again, although they will go below me in the turn order now. The issue with Amitss here is that I'm cutting off their options to build to 7 and break a stall, which is bad for them because if the game stalls at this point in building, that's very, very bad for the 20. Well, I mean, I'll definitely put 25 up for bid. Because I have a bunch of extra coal stored, so I can make use of it. It's a less costly plant for me than it is for others. I have an extra 4 coal right now. 26 came... 11, 12, 15, 17, 23, 24 could all still come as some duds to block 26. I do not want to pay this much for 25, though. With 20 also in the game, I'm not feeling it. Well, I'll pass on this junk now. So that's one of the plants came that could block it. Well, Selas was the one who definitely needed 25 the most, and they get it. Thing is, though, I think my job is done in terms of attacking coal. So you may notice that even though oil was ridiculously cheap, I kept buying coal to use on the 21 with its hybrid property. That's because I wanted to attack the other players, and I could attack potentially all the other players in the game here. So Teokop has a cheap 5th city with Birmingham, but they don't have the greatest options after that. Teokop could go into Duluth and kind of cut off my ability to break a stall. Not that I want to break a stall right now. I mean, no one else is burning oil at this point, so there's just no reason for me to buy any resources at all here, I think. I would buy oil if I planned to break a stall this turn so I could run the 5, but I'm not going to do that. Oh, teokop takes the Knoxville jump. All right. Yeah, okay, so now I am second from the bottom in turn order here. So stall helps me, and the only other player who can build before me right now is Amitss, who is in really bad shape, having to run the 20 every turn for a stall. This is why I didn't buy any extra resources. Now I can get dirt cheap oil on this next turn to use for the 21. Anyway, 40 came and went under the deck. Alright, so where are we at with this? 12 came, I forgot to mark off 12. 26 is actually on now. Ooh, 26 is going to be a monster. This I will bid. I will bid the hell out of this plant here. This is worth like 50 plus here. Let's see, 29, 30, 31, 32 came. I'm just marking off all the plants that were gone. I'm perfectly fine with this because I will definitely have the money to make use of this plant. Question is, Amitss will get the cheap oil before me, though. That is, well, 29 would actually be good for Amitss here. teokop has to decide whether to put 29 up for bid. If I were Amitss, I would actually bid on 29 here, and just be content to run 4 cities. Just drive down oil some, stop running the 20 during this stall, and to make coal easier for myself later in the game. 20 is just such a dangerous, dangerous plant. And you're seeing why here. I think Amitss should bid on 29. They don't, and they actually get rewarded for it. Please bid on this. Thank you. Alright, this is at least getting a decent bidding war here. I was afraid they were going to let that plant go too cheap. 31, which should not be bought. I imagine Selas would be smart enough not to buy. Selas actually buys 31. That kind of surprises me. I mean, I sort of get it, but the problem is you're hurting your turn order. And you're making it like you're not really keeping coal cheap for yourself because of the 20 being in the game. Plus, I still have 21, and like, you best believe I'm going to be using coal on this thing, especially since I have 26. But yeah, 11 came, 32, 36, 38, 46, 38 came. Okay. Amitss just buying all the things here, huh? Well, I actually will go bottom in the stall here. So I have no reason to buy oil right now. I have these other players competing. Yeah, I still have coal stored, and I'm going to go below everybody else in the turn order now. That was a funny auction because I was afraid of 26 hurting my turn order. But actually, everybody else bought plants too, so I'm going to end up going bottom for step 2 whenever that happens. Because I am not buying any more plants here until step 3. Buying 31 kind of surprises me, I gotta say. I don't think I would have touched that plant in Selas's spot. Not with 20 in the game, 21 and 29 both lurking as well. Like, those plants could easily attack Cole as well. That's what's really nice about the hybrid plants, particularly 21, is 21 gives you the flexibility to use it offensively or defensively. By which I mean defensively, just, getting cheap resources so you can make all the builds you need to make in a given turn, etc. Or playing offensively, driving up the more expensive resource to attack your opponents. Which is what I've been doing a lot with the 21 myself, because of how prevalent Cole has been in this game. And obviously, I ain't gonna build. So Amitss's move here, I think they should just run 30. And there comes the market stall. $35. So we're not quite going to get to step 3 on the next turn, I think, which is very good news for me. I think there'll be better news for me than for Selas. What do we do? Alright. What do we do here? Oh, Amitss actually ran the 20 and the 16. No. Wait. Did they run the 16 to power 1 city? I guess that does make a profit, but... Okay. So, definitely stocking 4 oil on 26. Okay. So I feel like Amitss and Selas would be my closest competitors. I just want to build cheap East Coast stuff. Take advantage of that. And get into, like, Kansas City. Okay. Let me think about this. 1, 2, 3. So we can get all the cheap stuff in the East Coast that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I can just do all this stuff here. Just do everything. And I'll take 2 coal here. I'll burn 2 coal on the 21 this turn. Again, you can see my plan here. I'm focusing on making sure to keep pressure on coal, because other players are much more dependent on coal than me. But yeah, I think I'm going to be in a really good position here. I would kind of worry about Selasphorus because they did get their plants kind of cheap, but at the same time, coal is not cheap. And Selas is going to have to keep those 2 coal guzzlers all the way until the end of the game. I think actually Dallas will benefit me more than Boston now for my last city. Give me some better positioning here. 38 will go under the deck this turn, and then that'll be the last turn before the step 3 card is drawn. I think we should have one more plant drawn, so we won't get the step 3 auction on the next turn. Because I definitely don't see anybody building to 14 here. Alright, teokop blocking Selas in the East Coast. I'm okay with this. It's good to me that teokop and I seem to be pretty similar in terms of money. Selasphorus, yeah, their builds are not the greatest, although they do have the Southwest cities, which now are pretty cheap by Step 2 standards, so that's a thing. Amitss is in a really rough spot with just all these inefficient plants. 16 is still decent, though. That plan's done a lot of work for Amitss. And I will gladly burn the coal on 21 this turn, for sure. I was right. One more plant, and it was 28. So step 3 card is next after this. After everybody just inevitably passes here. I don't have a reason to build this turn. We all blocked Selasphorus pretty well, which is good news. They're not exactly winning the builds in this game. Or I should say he's not. I'm pretty sure he's a guy. Selasphorus, he's not exactly winning the builds in this game, and he's definitely not winning the efficiency battle. He got his plants pretty cheap overall, and they're plants he can keep the whole game, but managing those plants is going to be very tricky. Like, he can only safely fire like 25 plus the 9. Like, if I were him, like, I would not be running the 31 right now. Like, I need to just hold on to all the coal I can get. So even if you're technically making less money running the 25 instead of the 31, just being able to keep that extra coal for future turns is much more important at this point. Because you don't know if you're ever going to get another chance to grab some. At least, not for one particular turn anyway. The nice thing here is I'll get a chance to see how these players build and react. Selas is going to have to make a big coal buy here, I think. There's a lot of it laying around for them. Yep, I was expecting something like that. Which means that... Actually... Even this turn, stupid as this is, I'm paying 16 for 2 coal compared to 10 for 2 oil, but that's... If I'm burning oil on the 21, that's making the oil more expensive for my main plant. I'm actually, even now, I'm just going to keep up the pressure. I am going to use coal, burn coal on the 21 this turn. Or alternately, given this market, we can see how this is going to look, because I could actually... Okay, Amitss builds above me. I'm expecting to get to bottom of the turn order. Wow, Selas blocked hard. That's actually pretty concerning, because now Amitss is probably going to end up winning the game. I thought 20 would get Amitss killed, but... Yeah, no. I can safely build one more city and stay bottom in the turn order, and that's definitely going to be Fargo, since that's the closest one to teokop attacking. Yeah. Well, no, Fargo or actually Houston. Houston's a little better. Teokop's within striking distance of both of those. And I can only build one. I just don't think... I think Selasphorus is in the far weaker position than Amitss, so I will build into Selas and try to block Amitss instead of building into Amitss' city. I still got Boston on backup here, and I'll definitely be taking that on the next turn. What I'll do here is I'll hold on to the coal this turn, because this will allow me to take the 36, which is going to be untouchable for almost anybody else. The issue here is this. Amitss could potentially run into resource problems. 24 is still in the game, and 38 is lurking as a potential step 3 plant. Amitss has to really think carefully before they burn the 30 this turn. They might just end up running the 20 and the 16 to be safe. So not a whole lot of money making there, but it's okay. Oh shoot! I didn't even see it was on me. Sorry, while I was explaining that. But yeah, I'm gonna keep the coal. That way I can take like 36 next turn. That could be an option. I'm glad at least 24 has been in the game to keep 30 from being a free win. So that's good. 42 drawn, that's not the greatest news. I'm really fishing for 36 here because I have a lot of money and should be able to build to 16 with the 36 here. I'll just move, no, because I need 2 more oil on this. Yeah, this is really tricky now. Amitss does, I mean, they can just take the 32. The key is I am definitely going to focus on doing what I can here to try to block Amitss' builds. Although I don't know what I can do in that regard. Ooh, that's very good news. Okay, so Amitss can't end the game this turn. That's very, very good news for me. I feel great about my position here. Playing bottom, I'll be able to take the 36, which like nobody else will want. There's 40. That's a very good plant right now. 40 is really good. Could even maybe get a little bit of bidding here. All right. 22 is still lurking. 22, 40, 44, 37, which are all really terrible right now. And then 38 solid. 39 is the god plant right now. 39 and 46 are the best ones. 22. All right. So I think Selas here is definitely going to be forced to take 32 because that gives them money-making options. Even if Selas can't end this game this turn, which I highly doubt he can, 32 will at least make him a lot of money by allowing him to not have to run 31 for a turn. And 37 comes in, so all going according to plan right now. Plus, most of the bad plants are out of the way now. So I'm definitely buying 36. For sure. 36 over this. We move the 2 coal here. And what's the next plant to come? 38. All right. Well, 38 now is like a totally safe plant, at least. There's 38 and 22 came, so this is interesting here. This is interesting. Here's what I can do. Because I don't want to end the game, I think, this turn. So I'll have to think about what to do here. Because, I mean, every plant left in the deck will help me get to at least 17. Because we got through all the bad drops. Like, every plant left after this should be very safe for me to take. I'm just thinking about how to manage this. And what builds do I want here? I think I have to take Boston and Fargo just because those are easily my cheapest left. And after that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because this will attack Amitss, taking the step 2 Birmingham there. So that's 57. Okay. I have to decide. I'm not going to have to take 42, right? Because we have 38, 44, 46, 39, so one of those plants. Any one of those plants will get me to 17. And I do think 18 will be necessary to win, though. All right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Is it worth storing extra stuff here? I don't think it is, right? Because I'm not going to need any more oil after this unless it happens to be 46 that I get, right? Yeah, we'll do it this way. I'm obviously not going to run the 36 this turn. Yep, no way in hell Selas was going to end the game. I already knew Selas was not going to have money, so... Yeah, teokop's not in a great spot right now because they need a 7 plant just... Oh, wow! We actually could have bought out Amitss's oil? Actually, let me think about this. 1, 2... 3, 4, 5. Holy shit. I actually could have done this. I could have, yeah, bought shit out and ended the game this turn. Oh well, that means I should be in a good position money-wise here. Alright. I'm not going to tell the other players how much money I have, though. So. And teokop going to go into the southwest. Try to block Amitss that way. Yep. I'm very happy with how my builds turned out in this game. I've only had to take a couple step 3 spots, although I'll need a couple more to win it. I expect Selas to take Cincinnati and Knoxville in the last turn, so... Man, I should have seen the potential oil buyout coming for Amitss. I mean, if Amitss wants to end the game now, if they think they have money, they could just do Oklahoma City, Dallas, Houston for a reasonable price. Since I have extra resources stored, they might be tempted to do that. But they don't. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to be stuck at the... Actually, no, I won't even be at the top of the turn order because teokop built to 16 also. Okay. Okay, cool. Alright, so I'll get some chances at a 6 plant here. $46, okay. Actually, this plant is not safe for me. Amitss might still have Minneapolis and Houston as some cheap cities there. Houston's guaranteed for Amitss because they build before teokop, who's the one player who could block them out of Houston. So Amitss gets Houston for sure this turn. I feel like Selasphorus is just dead here. I think Amitss is the player with the best chance to win. teokop, I don't think, is going to win this. Like, they can't even get to 18 at all. teokop, at best, can reach 17 here. We need to drive this up for teokop, though. Like, teokop's the player who's going to be the most desperate for this plant, easily. $39. This is my plant. This is my fucking plant right here. This is the perfect plant for me to get to 18. Here's what I'm thinking. Like, Selas is... Because Selas can only build to 17. Amitss needs 46. The problem is 46 is not a safe plant for Amitss. There's a risk of, like, resource buyouts going on here, is what's happening. Okay. Okay. If they're willing to pay this much to get to 17, because we know that 44 is the last plant left in the deck. Here's the question. Because if I buy 46, then there's a resource buy out there. So I think I just take the 44. Yeah? 44. Since I made those other guys pay so much for their plants, I'll just try to see if I can win the money war on 17 because of getting this plant for cheap and the builds. Ooh, where's my last city left? Funkdoc. Oh, Dullithist only 25, right? Because I'm yellow, so that's my best build here, right? Cheapest build left for me, yes, that would be... Yep, that's the correct build. Yes! There we fucking go. And I finally get to win a 4-player game on the stream. Not by a whole lot, though. I was only I finished only $9 ahead of Amitss. Yeah, I knew Amitss had good money throughout the game because of the early 16 was great for them. And then, like, they did okay handling the 20. So, but I just thought, 20 in the long run was still... It was tough to manage in terms of making money during the stall period. All right, well, there's a 4-player game for you. I'm glad to finally close one of those out. And with that, on that note, I'll definitely stop playing for the night and put this up onto YouTube. See you later.